Hey, what's going on, y'all? Just got through shooting a little basketball. Still out here in the park. Was coming out here to check out this lens under this tree canopy, and it's overcast today. And I said, well, why just shoot random footage? Why not record a video? And so I went back and got my phone, and I'm going to answer some questions on the website. How did I get here? Okay. After 20 years off the road, do I need to go back to trucking school? I'm sorry to say, more than likely, no. You will definitely need to go back to trucking school. Most companies want at least verifiable experience no more than 2 years old. Some 3. Some will take experience no longer than over a year old. So 20 years off the road, you're definitely going to need to go back to trucking school. Well, not definitely. More than likely, you know, it's possible to find somebody that you know, or somebody that knows somebody you know, and maybe you drove for 20 years prior to that, and you can just go out with someone they know or that drives for that company for a little while, and you'll be all good. That's if you still have your CDLs. If you don't still have your CDLs, you know, obviously you need to do whatever it takes to get your CDLs, which again, if you know someone or someone knows you well enough to give you an opportunity to go another route, then that's going to be the only way you can avoid going back to trucking school in most cases. If a trucker is in a residential area, how long would you let your truck idle? I thought it was 5 minutes or be fine. And this guy, if I remember correctly, was in Pennsylvania. I don't want to click on the link because out here in the park, it takes forever for this phone to reach the destination of the link. I think the guy was in Pennsylvania, and when you're talking about how long can you idle the truck, it really depends on now, unless they pass some law that I'm not aware of that covers everyone everywhere, it depends on the city ordinance. You know, some places you can't idle, other places they don't care. Some places you have a limited amount of time, so you really need to check the city ordinance. And I remember, and the guy says, where is it at? He's getting tired of it. What should he do? I mean, the first thing I would do is go and talk to the guy. You didn't say anything about you had spoke to him. The guy's letting the truck idle for 20 minutes. Go talk to the guy. When you hear him pull up, catch him right there so you can speak to him. Let him know it's bothering you. Ask him, can he cut it off? Because if it's idling for 20 minutes, then it shouldn't really be a problem of him cutting it off if you know he's going to be there for that long. And probably make a separate post about this. This is a young lady from, I think she's a producer from NPR affiliate KUOW in Seattle, Washington, and she wanted to talk to drivers, both men and women drivers in the Washington State area, to talk about life as a trucker, challenges in the trucking industry, and their personal stories, your personal stories. That's for Washington State drivers. And like I said, I'll make a separate video about that and give you the email. Well, the email is conversations2@kuow.org. Okay, I just did it, so a link will be in the description. Well, her email will also be in the description. And thanks, I'm very interested in pursuing a driving career. Just want to express my gratitude for all the information you put in the site or something like that. Again, you got to click the link to see all of it, but you are quite welcome. It's not just me, of course. It's a lot of the visitors, experienced drivers, and even trucking wives that are contributing to the website. And I agree with you. I think it's a pretty good source. How many riders can you have with you? Was wanting to bring my wife and 17-year-old out for a while and was told DOT only allows you to have 1 rider at a time. Is this true? Unless this is a new rule that came out or something that I just don't know about, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no 1 rider restriction by the DOT. You need to check the rider policy with the company that you're going with or that you are thinking about going with, and make sure that it's legit, you know, it's authorized by them to have a rider, because what the DOT will do is make sure that the passenger, however many you are allowed to have, they're going to make sure that it's an authorized passenger, or they can make sure that it's an authorized passenger. And if it's not an authorized passenger, then that person may be detained out there at the weigh station or wherever this check takes place. So you do want to check your company policy. They vary from company to company, and you really want to go through the proper channels to make sure the person you have riding with you is a legitimate passenger. This will take some getting used to. I'm really new to this. My husband started driving last week. He left Sunday night and was back Friday morning. Then he left again this Sunday. I'm gonna try to link it. I'm gonna try to click the link. Oh, it didn't take that long, but this is a book. What else does she say? Then he left again Sunday, but he doesn't know when he will get to come home again. Having a hard time. It's hard having him going like this because I'm used to him being home all the time. You see, he was a stay-at-home dad while I went to work and supported us. Well, I was laid off in February, and jobs are hard to come by these days, so he decided to go into truck driving, which he did several years ago before we met, because there's a high demand for truck drivers and potential to make good money. Okay. Having him going most of the time is hard enough, but not knowing when I will get to see him again is the worst. I know this is just as hard on him, and I worry about him constantly. Monday night they left for Montana, and I didn't hear from him again until this morning. Turns out he didn't have a cell phone service where they went, so he couldn't call or send me a text message. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much last night because all I could do was worry that something bad had happened. I tried not to cry, but last night was just too much. So for all you trucking wives out there, you see that you are not the only one with these feelings. Of course, well, let me read some more of the letter because you might identify with this also. And it's good for the drivers to hear what is on the mind of the wives when they are back home. And in some cases for the wives to hear what is on, but you know, wives are they can more easily identify with what the driver might be, the husband might be going through at home. But you know how it is. Most of the time it's the man that's out on the road and it's the wife at home dealing with a whole new set of challenges that she is not used to dealing with, being the woman of the house and stuff like that. She goes on to say, I wish I would have been better prepared for this. I had no idea it would be like this. I also figured out I need to learn how to do a few things around the house that he would normally do. For instance, a few hours after he left on Sunday, the bathtub faucet started leaking really bad. I had to learn how to shut off the water and take it apart to see what the problem was. Just little things like that you don't think about until they happen. He spoiled me and took care of a lot of things, and now I am faced with the fact that he won't be here to take care of them anymore. When he is home, he is way too tired to do anything. So I need to start learning a few things. I am sure things will get easier with time, but until then I will do my best to hold it together and take care of the house and car. I just wish there were resources out there for trucker wives. It's all on the website. I talk about all of this on the website. For you new drivers and your wives that are about to be at home, everything she's talking about, I talk about it in advance to prepare for it on the website. So there is a resource out there. Something to help us be prepared and know what to expect is on the website. The not knowing is the hardest part. The only thing that keeps me going is my love for him and the appreciation I have for what he is doing for us. We have a wonderful marriage, and I know we will make it through this. I just wish it were easier. And the reality, a couple of ladies has responded, and I appreciate you ladies so much for responding, because that's going to make a big difference. I hadn't had a chance to respond yet. I'm responding right now. But a young lady says, I understand what you're going through. My fiance started driving. This is Melissa. I understand that my fiance started driving truck this past spring. We're in a similar situation, which I was a breadwinner and he was a stay-at-home. He was the stay-at. Okay, I did read it right. We wanted a better life. Trucking is offering it to us. It does get hard and I get lost sometimes on my days off, but I have learned to do things for myself that if he were home every day I might not have to do. I spend more time with my kids and studying for my nursing exam. We were lucky that when he went to trucking school, his instructors brought the families in and went through things we could expect, both sides, and even talked to our kids and explained to them it wouldn't always be easy. All in all, we're adjusting pretty well to being tethered by a phone. Now that was an ill instructor. That was good. You heard what he said? What she said? The instructor came through and brought the family in and basically counseled the husband and wife and the kids. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm going to try to see if Melissa can tell me who this company is and who this instructor, what this instructor's name is, because that is excellent. You know, companies should encourage instructors to do that. They should do it, I feel, and that's awesome. Nancy says, yes, definitely the phone calls. Nancy says, yes, definitely the phone calls are brief. The fact that they are with their trainers. Well, that's Nancy's second entry. Nancy starts with, I completely understand what you're going through. My husband is on his last 2 weeks of training and I just can't get used to it. Him leaving every week is like him leaving the first day for me. You are exactly right about how there needs to be more resources for wives so that we can have an easy transition. We need to organize something where we can write to each other when we start feeling sad or need someone to talk to, because it's really hard. I still cry. So I'm so there with you. Please know you're not alone. And yeah, I really appreciate chiming in, Nancy. Looks like you guys are doing a great job consoling each other. And of course, you know, there is also a chat page. I feel you. Valiet, I think that's how you say her name. Valiet, I feel you. Not knowing it's the hardest part. My husband started in March of this year. At first, he was gone a little over 2 months. We had no idea when he would be home till he was here. He also left just so he could have a job. I do work full time. He was seasonal here and there. He was seasonal here and there. He was seasonal here and there around. Where am I? He was seasonal here and there. He was seasonal here and there was no full-time work for him. Whew, I got over that sentence. This time around, he will also be gone for 2 months or so. Stay strong. If there's a will, there's a way. Okay, basically, I have found ways to fix things I never thought in my wildest dreams I would be able to fix on my own. That's basically what she was saying. And so that gives husband and wives really a pretty clear view of the other person's journey in advance and in real time. I mean, in advance for you, but these young ladies are going through it right now, and you can clearly see the things that are causing intense emotions at home. And you know, one of the things you can do is prepare your wife as best as possible for some of the issues that might come up. And again, you know, if you know someone who's getting into trucking, you can share this video, or you can also buy the CD. You can buy the book, because I cover this. You know, this is a common problem, but you can be proactive and kind of try to do a role play, and also make an assessment of what's going on in the home. You know, if you have plumbing issues, something messes up every now and then and is only a temporary fix right now, well then yes, that's something you definitely need to inform your significant other about, and prepare her or him for how to deal with it. You know, and geese. And you know, if it's the car, like I always say, if you got a car that's not dependable, then AAA, MCA, TVC, you know, is some of the best value for the buck you can get, because you can leave your significant other with at least a feeling of security, knowing that if the thing breaks down, she won't be stuck on the side of the road. She will be able to get towed back in, won't need any money, will have a number to call, and just be able to give them the location, and the car will at least get back home or to a mechanic and get it fixed. And of course, if you can, go ahead and make the car dependable so that won't come up. But you know, if you know you got a car with issues and there's something wrong that you can't afford to fix, just get AAA or TVC. You can get either one for less than $100 for the whole year. That might be significantly cheaper than fixing the problem. So think about those things, you know. Security with the home. Security with the home. If it's a rough neighborhood or the person is out in the middle of nowhere, you know, take precautionary measures. Put up a camera. If you can't even put up a camera, then at least put up maybe an extra lock. Put up an artificial alarm or camera or something as a deterrent, you know. Just think things through and see how you can be proactive in making her experience at home be easier to bear. And you know, you might say, well, I'm gonna have to go through this, that, and the other, and it's not gonna be easy for me either. I understand that, but you know, you need to look at it as both people should be looking at the other person, how to make the other person more comfortable dealing with the situation. If you do that, then it's going to be a beautiful thing. But I'm only talking to you, the one who's watching the video. If you try to do what you can to make the other person feel at ease, then it's going to still help you out, because that's less stress that's going to come your way on the road. You know, these things will be dealt with as best possible in the beginning, so that they won't cause issues later on. So yes, that does help you. And that's ideally that is the way that we should care for one another in the first place, and especially if you're in a loving relationship, supposed to be a loving relationship. You know, you don't say, what about me, what about me, what about me? Think about that. Think about that. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. I am going to take a shower. Peace. There's the geese you heard.